All right, everyone. The Walking Dead has officially made it to 100 episodes.
That means it gets put into reruns now.
Well, I think it's already been in reruns.
Wasn't that the
because it's
rule?
So, well, there's a certain number you have to hit, and then the show has much more value because it, makes sense to be syndicated. But I think because The Walking Dead has been so insanely popular,
Yeah.
they didn't wait.
No, they've been
They
showing
knew they were
it
going to get here.
leading up and up and up again and again and again,
So-
showing it old episodes leading up to this. Someone
Our friend
Neve. Hello, Neve. It's
Said-
been such a long time.
says my
Hello.
theory is that The Walking Dead shouldn't have reached 100 episodes.
Really? I don't agree. I think it shouldn't be 100 episodes just yet, but it's got a lot of good storytelling left.
I feel
to it.
like where the show is now, we've now transitioned from like The Walking Dead in the first season. It's only 6 episodes. It was nice and contained. And if they didn't know it was going to be a monster hit. This was quite a gamble for AMC and out of left field from what they normally do. And so it could have been just a standalone and never been renewed, and it would have been fine.
Oh, it would have been wonderful. It was the seasons 1 through 4 are.
And then it became the monster hit that it is, and they had to
Actually, kind of
Stretch it out.
drag it into filling how many episodes per season now?
The first one was 6, and then since then it's been, I want to say 16.
Yeah.
I think there was one that was like 15.
And if the seasons were done 6 episodes per season, more a la Game of Thrones-esque, maybe 8, the story structure might have not dragged on so long. It should get to 100 episodes.
And the other thing about The Walking Dead and AMC is that because they had this system with the mid-season point, so you have 8 episodes that are essentially a mini season, and then you finish the season. So it feels like even though we're in season 8, like we've had twice that.
Yeah, it should get to 100 episodes, but perhaps we shouldn't be on episode 100 just yet.
So
I was trying to get to.
What did you guys think of this episode? Tell us what your thoughts are, because season 7 infamously.
Robert Moore said when you said it was a monster hit. Robert Moore on Facebook says it's like technically a zombie hit, not a monster hit.
It's true. It's a type of monster. All zombies are monsters, but not all monsters are zombies.
So I'm glad we've got that semantic clarification down. Yeah. SU Jag alum, hello again, old friend. Yes, some episodes feel like throwaway episodes, and yeah, they're there for the faculty of storytelling.
Exactly. It's because AMC wants to have that big start, that big mid-season finale, that big mid-season premiere, and that big season finale, and everything in between.
Can they just kind of make up as they go along?
We're gonna watch it.
Yeah,
we're gonna watch it.
Watch The Walking Dead? Who are you?
Exactly.
Someone with a life? Absolutely not. You're on Periscope and Facebook.
Let's pull up the
Live.
poll. I did a poll here, and this was what did people on Twitter think of this season premiere? 49% of respondents out of 1,874 votes said it was excellent. 23 okay, 11
I think we
disappointing.
can drop that a couple of points, mainly because they're always going to be fanboys who say everything.
That's true. It was highly targeted, and if you are following a Walking Dead Twitter account, chances are you're looking at everything through rose-tinted glasses.
The 11% of disappointed is always there are going to be these internet haters who hate everything. So
Exactly.
I think the majority of people, if you evened out, were kind of all right with it.
But the real metrics, the things that I'm looking at, there's ratings. So the season 8 premiere was down 33% versus the season 7 premiere.
Just the Nielsen rating.
This is Nielsen ratings, but keep in mind the season 7 premiere was picking up the cliffhanger, that awful, ridiculous cliffhanger where we didn't know who died. So of course everyone had to tune in because we had to get the last 1 minute of that episode that they stole from us.
Everyone had to see that. I watched it.
So it's a little
live.
unfair.
It's obviously, yes, you can't go by that.
But it was down 33% versus season 7, and in the key demo, which is 18 to 49 viewers, it was 40%.
Oh dear.
That's Nielsen's. The thing that I really look at, the piracy. The piracy level was down 42%. So these are the people that aren't even paying money, they're not sitting through commercials, and 42% less people said, you know what, it isn't even worth taking for free.
I can't even be bothered to steal this. That's how bad. I think that is largely a symptom of the fact that season 7, though starting with that cliffhanger, didn't pay off as much as there were interesting bits and there were good bits, and Negan I will watch, as I said before, all day, every day. But I think people lost a bit of faith with it. They've kind of become bored.
And Vile Vampire said, not a good episode.
Not a good episode. I enjoyed it for what it was.
Here's the thing.
It had its faults.
Not good at all. I
No?
enjoyed it, but I can enjoy it even if it's not a good episode.
All right.
I can find redeeming qualities, and I feel like The Walking Dead at this point has kind of merged into sci-fi channel type territory.
You said that randomly earlier. Explain that to me. What do you mean by that? As a
When I say,
sci-fi?
like, AMC is known for Mad Men,
Sure.
Breaking Bad, Better Call Saul, these shows that are just really well written, great stories, great actors all around, really tight, and they feel purposeful. And The Walking Dead now starts, season 1, it felt purposeful.
Yeah.
Every episode has meaning and it is going somewhere, leading to a greater whole. But I feel like now they're kind of retreading ground, and they're just more action driven.
More like a sci-fi series.
There's a lot of characters, and we got to give everyone a little bit of time.
Right.
It just becomes cheaper.
It's become a thing lesser than the sum of its parts.
It feels like it's more about the sit back and you look at it from 20 feet versus really being in it.
Yeah. Apparently, there's some sort of technical issue with Facebook. Says Chelsea Logan. Whether it
So
stopped or not, and if we do, I apologize profusely.
And I would tell
catch
people
up.
on Facebook to jump on Periscope,
Yeah,
but they can't see
they
us.
only can't see us now,
can't see
can
us.
they? Facebook link died. We're working on it, guys. Someone, Neve said they're building up Gabriel for an easy kill-off. I don't think so. I think Father Gabriel's going to be around for quite a while.
Oh, I think he's going to be tortured.
Yeah, continuously.
And it's funny because this is one thing that The Walking Dead has done well, where, like with Dwight, for example, Dwight started as a character that people hated, and now people are starting to
Not
understand him. They can see themselves in his shoes. Gabriel was the same way. When he started in the show, everyone hated his guts because he was this little
annoying.
weasel. He was terrible. He had no redeeming qualities whatsoever. And then in the last season in particular, they really started to build up this mutual respect between him and Rick. So that
Well, that means
now-
he has to die eventually,
so
obviously.
they would do that so they can kill him and make us feel bad because we wanted to see him die.
Yeah, and we'll have that guilt complex and they'll toy with our emotions. It's testament to the fact that how good of an actor the guy is to make himself unlikable as a priest. It's a difficult role to play, that one. You have to sort of grapple with the overwhelming guilt that he has with
Yeah, and
locking
he's
the people
a
out of his
tremendous
church
actor.
and-
He's from The Wire. The Walking Dead producers have been pretty, out there with like Tyrese.
Yeah.
He came from The Wire. They're stealing from a show that they love with great quality actors, and that's a good formula. So he can work with the material if they give him something to work with.
No, I agree with that. And I look forward to him being psychologically and physically tortured. That sounds horrible to say, but it's part of what makes Walking Dead good. They don't shy away from that sort of stuff.
A big thing about this episode is we were seeing 3 different time periods. It seems.
Yeah.
It seems like we have present day where the war is starting. We have mid-war. That's where Rick's all teary-eyed
Okay.
because obviously people have died.
Yeah.
Probably Gabriel. His
I
best
have my
buddy.
own theories about that, and we'll get to that.
And
in a
then
wee
we have the
second.
future post-war, old man Rick.
Or is it future post-war?
Or is it a dream?
Because there's this theory going on. When I first saw it, when it came on, I thought they were going to address or blow out the water any idea that Rick was still in the coma, because he wakes up and he's got the long beard and he's got the sort of awkwardly trimmed hair that looks like it's been trimmed by someone who doesn't really care. And he wakes up and he's got flowers next to him and it looks like a hospital room. And I thought,
The most important part, Weird Al's playing.
Weird Al is playing.
Weird Al is in the background.
Did they
everyone.
find that, or did he survive the apocalypse and he's now making new music?
Rick has been carrying this mixtape with him since he got out of that coma in season 1.
I need to play.
Carl, I need a cassette player.
That's a terrible impression. That's worse than his. No, I thought it was going to be like a thing, like he was having some sort of vision about him waking up from a coma and it was all a dream, but it was actually a dream of it all being a dream. Anyway, that's my own theory that I came up with at the time. Is it a reliable narrator though? Is this future actually what is happening?
The fact that it's all kind of blurry around the edges and
Yeah,
everything,
it's got that
it
kinda-
has a dreamlike quality.
What
They're at least playing with it. SU Jagalum says, I think it's a dream.
Yeah.
They're certainly, they want us to think it could be.
Yeah.
There he is. There's old man Rick.
Yeah. Look, it looks like someone's.
It's dreamy.
I can be forgiven for thinking.
And not
he
just
woke up-
because it's Andrew Lincoln.
No, like that looks like he's woken up in a hospital after a coma and he's had his hair cut by an orderly who just doesn't care.
The batteries went dead before they got to the beard.
Yeah, he's just the beard suits him. It's fine, but off the top. But no, my thing with the sort of dreamish looking sequence, is that I think when he's mid-war and crying, what he is doing is he's thinking about the life that he could have had that is now lost. I think,
They've done things like that.
yeah, I think Michonne and Judith at that point may actually be dead.
Ooh.
Yeah, that's my prediction for that. I think he's heartening over a life he can never have. Yep, there you are.
That is depressing.
Everyone
and
you love
it makes
dies.
Sense. That's,
Yes.
that is a fact.
It is. If it's depressing,
And
it
the
must be
moral of
true.
the
It's
story
Walking Dead
is
logic.
the moral of the story is never love.
Never love, or else
love.
it all just goes horribly wrong.
So there were some good callbacks.
Oh, sorry. The reason I think Judith is dead, is because right at the start, when they're showing you Judith, and Judith has been the child that plays Judith now is actual, not just this amorphous baby. It's a person.
It's a little person.
Yeah, and that's forward in the future. There's actually a younger girl who plays the
Toddler Judith.
Yeah, Chekhov and his gun. Like they're showing Judith in the first act, and so something happens to her in the second. It has to. She has to get killed off or kidnapped
Or start a Weird Al cover band.
Sure, and that's who they're listening to now. that's my take on it. Anyway, sorry, back to this. Start at the Ben Makes TV says, what about Pickle Rick? That's a completely different TV show, equally as awesome, but not
SU
really our problem
Jagalum
right
says, I also thought Michonne died and that's why he's crying.
now. Yeah, that would make
That would
sense.
do it. That would do it.
Otherwise, he is just post sorting out everything, and it's the crying and relief of maybe that dream is a future now that he can now see that he couldn't see before, and that's why he's overwhelmed with
The
emotion.
future is what you make it.
Yes.
All right. I just also wanted to call it one of the best fun callbacks to season one. The zombie girl, the first zombie walker, that Rick sees in the first episode. They brought her back.
with the mouth.
They brought her back, and she's 17 years old now.
Oh.
But they brought her back for this, and
That's
it was pretty cool.
That's the sort of thing that really makes me appreciate a show like this.
It was a fun callback, and a lot of shows don't get to do that because a lot of shows don't last this long.
No, they don't.
To see both Judith and zombie girls grow up.
I am just waiting for Judith to turn into the most annoying character, and then we're all screaming for a small child to be.
She should have been killed when she was a baby.
Didn't we have a conversation about that previously? Right, she's a liability. She's all right now. I think she can stay. What did you like about this episode in particular?
I liked that it was fast-paced.
Yeah.
Finally, I felt like season 7 was such a slog. It was so hard to get through. So being fast-paced was a big plus, and I think they're going to keep that pace up.
You do technology.
They
I don't
heard
understand.
the criticisms.
Yeah.
Right? And so I think we're going to see more of this pace. If not as fast as this season premiere, at least they're going to,
Keep the sort of pace
be at a
of
good
it.
jog.
Retain people's attention, seeing as they've lost a fair amount of them already. Do you not think they would probably better serve doing that by just editing it better?
That is a plus too. You're putting a lot of faith in people that have let us down in the past.
Yeah, I've been hurt before, but it's Walking Dead is the abusive husband of TV.
Pacing is the real monster in this show.
Yeah.
It really always has been. So another thing I liked is the villains. I always, for some reason, I like the villains. Game of Thrones, Joffrey's my boy. The show's never been the same since he's
you root for the villains.
And Negan's okay. I like Negan.
Oh, blasphemy! Wash your mouth.
But
out.
I love Evil Eugene. Evil Eugene
Evil. No.
is now why I watch this show.
Evil Eugene. No.
And Simon's great.
He's not actually evil. You know he's not. He's a victim of circumstance. He's smart, but he's never been the most sort of.
Being evil is within his skill set.
Yes, it is most definitely within his skill set, but he's a weak dude trying to survive as best he can. And I think I still think he's a sleeper. He
could be.
Rick doesn't know. No one else knows, and he will die. He has to. He'll die a martyr's
Prediction.
death. My prediction.
When Rick is crying, it's over Eugene's grave.
No, I doubt it. I don't think he'll shed any tears over Eugene. But Eugene I love. And Negan. Negan is the best part of that show.
He's okay.
He's phenomenal. I would watch, and I've completely forgotten the actor's name.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan.
Jeffrey Dean Morgan, not Javier Bardem. The other one that looks exactly the same. I would watch him chew the scenery all day.
He's good.
Everyone else is so bland. Andrew Lincoln is fun to watch. Eugene is fun to watch. Everyone else is just a kind of mishmash of people who happen to have guns today.
Let's see. SU Jag liked the explosions.
Good. I like you like the
Our friend
explosion.
Neem likes the evil uncle with Negan.
Oh,
Do you mean Gregory?
Gregory? The
I like
leader of the
Gregory too.
Hilltop? Yeah.
I like Gregory too.
You like Gregory? Why?
Because he's terrible. I like him because he's the worst.
Right, okay. He's a sniveling weasel is there to further the plot and will get executed in some horrible fashion.
Yes.
That's what he's there for. That's fine.
Yes. And I look forward to that day, but I miss him already.
Right, okay. Well, I'm sorry that Gregory is your taste in characters, that you don't have some sort of thing for panache and flair. Simon?
All right. Simon, he's great. He could be the main villain because he's so good. Except Jeffrey Dean Morgan, he'll never get out of that shadow.
No.
So let's move on just because we promised Ben we'd stay on time.
Yeah.
And
I
we're
think
liars through and through.
Yeah.
We're gonna jump into predictions.
Okay.
Right? So share your predictions, what you think is going to happen.
Yes, hit us up. What do you think is going to happen?
Besides Gregory dying.
Yeah, besides Gregory
we know
dying,
that's gonna happen.
besides Eugene dying, besides...
Eugene will never die.
Eugene will never die. He will live on.
He's as timeless as his hairstyle.
No. The Texas Tennessee top hat? No, absolutely not. The man has to die. I've gone over a lot of my predictions. What do you think is going to happen?
I think that this season, we're probably going to see that the episodes are... Like, every episode is like a mission or a battle. I think that they're changing the formula of the show so that they don't have those, like, Tara goes to Oceanside for an episode.
Sort of standalone little...
Yeah, I don't think they're going to do that. And I think we're going to see a lot of ensemble. I'm going to see a lot of the characters reunited. Yeah. That was a big criticism. I think we're going to see Carol hang out with Daryl. I think we're going to see a lot of these things that the fans have demanded.
Yeah,
and that's not always
Carol
a good
and Daryl
thing.
is a nice idea, but it's not one that will stick. Someone's Chelsea Logan, can Carl die, please? God willing. Absolutely
I don't
God
want him
willing.
to necessarily die. I just want him to get a haircut.
You won't get a haircut. Puberty just hit him hard in the face, and he's all the hair.
If they catch us up, this is another prediction. I think that by mid-season, we're going to be at the mid timeline point, probably, where Rick is crying. That's going to be like the cliffhanger mid-season. I think the season finale is going to be caught up to the future. And I hope that in that future, Carl has a haircut. Because I think that's the only time it's going to happen.
A victory haircut.
At this point, if he does not get a victory haircut, he will never get a haircut.
Oh yeah, why would he get a haircut if he loses? It's not at the front of his mind. SU Jag alum, Michonne or Carol will die. Michonne is dying. If Carol dies, people will riot.
But the reason that Michonne will die is because Denai Guerrera, the actress who plays Michonne, she's getting a lot of roles and she's very busy.
Oh dear.
She's in Black Panther.
Oh yeah.
She has a Broadway play.
Okay.
She wrote it.
She wrote it.
She wrote it.
What's it called?
I should know that, and I don't.
All right.
I don't go to Broadway. Ben's the Broadway guy.
He did actually go and see the Game of Thrones musical
I did
just
see the
there.
Game of
How
Thrones
was
musical.
that?
It was very good.
Was it very good?
It was everything I wanted it to be.
I
I would love to see a Walking Dead musical now next.
Really? Like, how would you do that with the
Let's save it for the
Sorry,
free-for-all.
right. We'll
Save it for the free-for-all.
Morg is 100% dying, yes. And did you see him skewer that dude with the...
Morgan?
Yeah, with the
Yeah,
bow staff.
Morgan's my other prediction, dying, and Ninanium says 100% he's dying. This was refreshing to see him shove that pointy stick through a guy's chest.
Yeah, he's got over the cheesemaker.
Because it's been very frustrating seeing him just refuse to accept reality that this is what it takes nowadays.
Being that guy from Kung Fu, I shall not fight
I will not fight It's been painful to watch Morgan, a character that we really liked from the very beginning, episode 1, not contribute. And I think that Morgan will die because it feels like his story is basically complete. He's come full circle. But also because Lenny James, another actor who's got lots of prospects. He was just in Blade Runner 2049.
All right.
He's a tremendous actor. I've said since the first episode, what's Lenny James doing in the show?
Making it awesome, clearly.
He is, and nothing against the Walking Dead cast, but like, he is a theatrical actor that...
So basically, people don't...
That's where he belongs.
People don't quit The Walking Dead. They just get more opportunities to get out of The Walking Dead. And then more power to them. He will have to go. All right, look, I think we're running vastly out of time. Shall we...
Let's... any other predictions does anyone have? So we know who's going to die, for sure. Gabriel, Gregory, possibly Michonne. They might keep her another season.
No.
Definitely Morgan.
You have to take everything from Rick. The entire point of Rick Grimes as a character is to see exactly how much a human being can take, how much of a ringer you can put this one man through, and he still keeps marching forward. And
here's a
they will
prediction.
never kill Carl because it's just not going to
Well,
happen.
the story of the father and son surviving the apocalypse is really
It's
a big part of what the show
Nah,
is.
because if Rick was to lose Carl, then Rick would stop being Rick, and he'd stop having everything that drives him, the sort of the small bit of goodness and harkening back to his previous life as a law enforcement officer and all that good stuff. If Carl died, he'd go off the rails and it'd be
If
disaster.
Carl dies, Rick riots.
Yes, and then some.
SU Jag predicts
we're
that
stuck with
Heath
Carl.
returns. That's
Heath.
another actor that had really great prospects.
Yeah, that's
So Heath is Corey Hawkins.
Yeah, how is 24 doing?
It's canceled.
All right, well he might be back then.
So Corey Hawkins was in Straight Outta Compton. He was Dr. Dre.
Yeah.
He got that came along. That became a big hit after he was cast in The Walking Dead as Heath. Heath never really did anything.
No.
And then they basically wrote him off so he could come back. But since then he was in Kong Skull Island. He was the lead in 24 Legacy, which got canceled.
Yeah.
And
So he's looking for a job
and
right
the
now. So he might
producers
very...
have said he will be back.
All right, well he's coming on back then, having
It's
fallen
just
off
that
the bridge.
will he come back in one episode as a zombie?
Nah, they'll have a standalone episode for him, explaining where he's been and what he's been up to.
Nananium says, I think Rick is going to kill Morgan by accident. That could happen.
Yeah, my favorite part of Lenny James, when you see him for the second time and he's gone mad, and he's like, they don't die, they just clear.
Yeah.
Like,
You don't clear.
you don't clear. That is how I like my Morgan. I like my Morgan frazzled and bananas and not quite there. And I think we're not going to get a return to that.
It's a shame we didn't get more of it. We got in the episode with the goat.
Yeah.
We got a little bit of that. But that episode was so long. It was a 90-minute episode, and I felt every minute.
All right. Well,
All right. Anything else that you want to share?
I think
This is a free-for-all.
Yeah, is
We're in the
Periscope
free-for-all.
working? Has
I
it
don't-
shut down on us?
Periscope, I think, is working.
Is Facebook still working?
I don't know.
We have no idea. Well, I think
It's a free-for-all when it comes to technology around here.
we've been going for a fair while.
The other musical I want to see is Back to the Future, by the way.
Back to the Future.
Back to the Future
musical.
deserves a musical.
Is it not? Oh, it must be just nothing but Huey Lewis in the News.
It would have to be heavy on the Huey. Like Huey
It would have
Lewis.
to be a jukebox.
Well,
musical.
Huey Lewis would have to be a part of it. He'd
Right.
have to help contribute songs to
Yeah,
it.
Chuck Berry. You have to get the rights for that. It would have to be a jukebox musical. You'd haven't. You can never mind. This is not the time or place of the platform to be talking about this. Anyway, final thoughts.
Final thoughts. The Walking Dead is back. And when I say The Walking Dead's back, I don't just mean the season premiere. I feel like the show is actually going to keep us watching. Minus 40% of people.
It's all right. They're missing
It's
out.
still the biggest show on TV.
Even with the 40% loss, it's still
Even with the 40% loss, it's still a
monster
monster. Just to put in perspective, that was 11.4 million viewers
Wow.
watched it. That's not counting DVR.
No.
Although it was 17 million for season 7.
Yeah, my final thing, and it's an issue, one of the few issues I have with this episode, people just keep shooting at random things for no reason. Like,
Yes.
a squirrel, like all the hail of bullets. Wasn't that you brought up?
We talked about this before we started, that this was a plot point last season, where there is a limited amount of ammunition to the point where Eugene is suddenly valuable as a bullet maker. And for them to make that a plot point last season, and then
Just spraying
in the season
bullets
premiere,
everywhere. Like, it's like a really bad Michael Bay film. Just
and that's part of the sci-fi channelness of this.
Random
Where it
tap.
just feels like the things don't... they
Open
don't-
this door.
It just feels like it doesn't, like, you're not rewarded for paying
No.
attention.
The realism has been lost.
Game of
somewhere.
Thrones rewards you for paying attention. The Walking Dead sometimes does, like the little girl zombie that comes back in season, like, okay,
Yeah.
great, that's like an Easter egg. But I prefer when the plot points reward you for paying attention.
Well, we can only ever hope for better script writing. Anyway, thank you very much, guys, for tuning in. I'm Roddy McInnes.
I'm Luke Watson.
And like this, share this, follow us. We'll be back, no doubt, at some point. I don't know when. That is completely up to you. I'm enjoying being back. It's refreshing to be back here with you, with my favorite person, and your lovely beard. Look at you.
It's true, it's no Rick Beard.
It's no rig beard, not yet, but your haircut is decidedly better.
I'm gonna come back with a buzz cut.
Just go in a hospital, like, cut my hair like you just don't care. Go
Make me
at
look
it.
like this guy.
Make me look like my son will never die.
Slightly out of focus.
Slightly hazy. Right.
All right, thanks everyone. We'll see you soon, unless we don't.
Yeah, you never know.
Another one?